from number 151 Lightfield Ambulance, who had done such a splendid job in cleaning up my wound and plastering it up and so on, I was transported to Tripoli in a hospital ship, which was rather nice. It had nice capacious bunks, which were on gimbals so that if the ship rolled, it didn't affect the patient. And next to me, or in the next bunk, was a rather nice young German paratrooper who had been hit on his way down on his parachute and who was very pleased to have somebody next to him who spoke German and with whom he could chat and tell how they'd been hung about with stuff like Christmas trees, he said, when they jumped. And he was cheerful and good company. But when they came to renew his dressing, I realized that he had been quite badly wounded by a bullet entering below one of his buttocks and exiting sort of midriff. So it must have done quite a bit of damage, and he evidently was hit on the way down. But we continued to chat, and then eventually said, you know, this is really getting rather uncomfortable. Do you think you could get somebody to give me something? And I said to the sister he would like some really. He said, no, impossible. The way his state of health and the way he's lost blood and all the rest of it, impossible. I couldn't take the responsibility. And we continued to talk, but he got a little more monosyllabic, and then he said, look, this is really getting very bad. Please do ask him to give me something. It's really not good now. And the sister gave the same answer as before. And then after a while he said, look, just tell him to give me something. I don't know, it's on my responsibility. If I don't wake up again, I don't care. Just ask him, please. And I asked the sister very urgently, and she looked at him with raised eyebrows and eventually said, oh, well, on his responsibility then, and made a bit of a show of it. And then eventually she came back with a syringe and she gave him a shot. And he said to me, well, you know, I don't really think this is working. I don't think it's having any. And he was away. And then the sister came back, looked at him with a little smile, and said to me, do you know what that was I gave him? Distilled water. I couldn't have dreamt of giving him anything really strong. And I'm afraid that's the last I saw of him. I'm sorry. When we were unloaded at Tripoli, probably taken to the same hospital, but I didn't see him again. Presently, I was an outpatient.
How did you feel about this chap? I mean, he was the enemy, basically.
Yes, but anyone in that situation knows from experience how difficult it is to resist the urge to, well, what they call fraternization, I suppose. You are basically in the same shoes. You are in the same situation. You have a strong feeling of, I don't know, affinity, of
sympathy?
Sympathy, yes. You're almost comrades in the same situation. Once the fighting bit has stopped, then you no longer have a personal animosity towards each other. And I've come across that quite a lot during that conflict.